Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Allow me to begin this video by asking you guys a very simple question, especially those who voted for Eliud in the last election. Is there a need to support the broad-based government? Because clearly, this broad-based government is eating Eliud supporters more than any other thing.
Today, and the body had a lot of injuries on the head. The body had a lot of injuries on the hand, the shoulder area, but the head was swollen all around. The frontal part of the head, the nose, the ears, generally the head was swollen. And there was a lot of blood oozing from both the nose and the mouth.
On Friday, Albert Ojwang was picked from their residence in the village in Homa Bay. He was driven to Nairobi. The next day, he was gone forever. And today, the police have confirmed themselves that the reason why he was picked from the village to Nairobi, let them explain.
I have a brief chronology of events that led to the death of Albert Ojwang. On Friday, 6th June 2025, Albert Ojwang was arrested in Homa Bay County by DCI detectives for the offense of false publication. Records indicate that he was transported to Nairobi, where he was questioned by officers from the DCI headquarters on Saturday. He was later booked at the Central Police Station at occurrence book number 136/7/6/2025 at 21:35 hours. During a routine cell inspection, Ojwang was found unconscious. He was immediately rushed to Bagathi Hospital for treatment, as documented at the occurrence book number 9/08/06 of 2025 at 01:39 hours. Upon arrival, he was declared dead.
I want to ask several questions. But what pains me the most is that Albert was the only child of the father. And you can clearly see the pain on the face of the father.
Jina langu ni Mesha Ojwang Ofio. Natoka eneo la Homa Bay County, Kabondo Kasipul Sub County. Village yangu ni Kakot. Location ni Kokwani. Kufikia jana mchana mwendo wa saa 7, baada ya kufanya kazi ya shamba asubuhi na familia yangu, kijana wangu ametengeneza shamba la mboga hapo chini ya boma. Yeye alikuwa anashughulika na mboga yake, na mimi nashughulika na mambo ya kupalilia mahindi. Baadaye tulirudi nyumbani, akaniambia anataka kuenda kuchukua miti kuja kupanda Ringa. Nikampatia pikipiki kuenda Ringa na kurudi, akaniambia kwamba amerudi, na mama yake akatukaribisha na chakula. Wakati tunakula, mimi na baba yake mdogo tulikuwa tuko kwa nyumba, yeye na mke wake pamoja na mtoto wake na mama yake walikuwa wanakula nje na watoto wengine wa ndugu yangu. Nikasikia sauti ya pikipiki inakuja hapo kwenye boma. Nikatoka ndani ya nyumba ili nilaki wageni ambao wamekuja kwangu, maana ni kawaida yangu wageni wakija mpaka wakaribishe. Walipoingia na pikipiki zilikuja 3. Pikipiki 2 zilikuja kwa nyuma ya boma, moja ilikuja kwa mbele ya boma. Hizo pikipiki zilikuwa zimebeba watu 2 kila pikipiki. Walipofika nikawaambia karibuni, hapa ni kwangu. Wakajitambulisha kwao, wao ni maafisa wa polisi. Mmoja anaitwa Sigei, mwingine nimemsahau jina lake, ni mtu wa kutoka Ugenya, na wakajitambulisha hivyo mpaka wakamalizika, na wengine wa kutoka Mawegu walikuwa wamechanganyikana. Sasa wakasema wamekuja, huyo kijana wako ambaye ameketi hapo chini ya jiwe, maana walikuwa wamekaa kwa jiwe hapo nje ya nyumba wanakula mboga. Hata hiyo mboga hakula ya kutosha, hata wakawa wanacheka hapo nje kwamba kwani tumekuja na pingu, mtu hawezi kula. Hakula, wakamchukua wakamweka pingu. Nikauliza kwani amekosea nini? Wao wakasema ya kwamba kuna boss wake, kijana wangu amemtusi vibaya sana katika Twitter, walitamka X. Sasa nikauliza ni boss gani? Wakasema huyo bwana Sogei. Akaniambia kwamba mzee, usiongee maneno mengi, wewe tufate police station Mawegu. Nikashika njia, maana wamemweka katikati, mmoja mbele mmoja nyuma, yeye amekaa katikati. Mimi nikachukua pikipiki pamoja na kaka yangu yule ambao tulikuwa tunakula pamoja, hata sikuosha mikono.
And the biggest question is one: why was Albert eliminated? Because on the same day, and the police confirmed in this statement themselves, there were also others who were also arrested on similar charges, which means, in my view, someone somewhere is out to teach the young people of the Republic of Kenya some serious lessons. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a sad man because as we speak, only Babu Owino has spoken about this matter. Where now I go to the Luo Nyanza politicians. Doris Wanga issued a statement. Adipo Kwame also issued a statement. But the only person who has raised issues is Babu Owino, the incoming kingpin. I want us to ask ourselves several questions about this. Because the other day we had Raila Odinga telling William Ruto to stop abductions. And William Ruto promised to stop abductions. If you listen to the father explaining what happened, this is clearly an act of abduction.
Nikasikia sauti ya pikipiki inakuja hapo kwenye boma. Nikatoka ndani ya nyumba ili nilaki wageni ambao wamekuja kwangu, maana ni kawaida yangu wageni wakija mpaka wakaribishe. Walipoingia na pikipiki zilikuja 3. Pikipiki 2 zilikuja kwa nyuma ya boma, moja ilikuja kwa mbele ya boma. Hizo pikipiki zilikuwa zimebeba watu 2 kila pikipiki. Walipofika nikawaambia karibuni, hapa ni kwangu. Wakajitambulisha wao ni maafisa wa polisi. Mmoja anaitwa Sigei, mwingine nimemsahau jina lake, ni mtu wa kutoka Ugenya.
So I want to ask several questions. Before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask my first question. According to the police, Albert posted something which in their view was defamatory. The question is, and that's the same question most Kenyans have been asking, where is that particular post? Where is the post? Because Kenyans need to know. And DIG Lagat should tell Kenyans that this guy, because the police confirmed that he's the one who complained, and he has a right to do so, he should tell Kenyans that this guy said this, or this guy posted this, so that Kenyans can be the judge. Because as we speak, we can't even verify the Twitter handle of this gentleman. Maybe they deleted it, but nobody is telling us about that post. And even assuming he made a post, because according to them, That post related to something which Rigathi Gachagua had said, that there's a squad somewhere. What criminal offense did that post amount to? Because maybe he just made a post, but that post did not qualify for any criminal offense. So Kenyans need to know. The police, instead of just addressing the nation, they should tell Kenyans that this is the post. Because if the deputy IG was defamed, probably someone took the screenshot, sent to him. That is what Raila should demand for. That is what the leaders from Nyanza should demand for. Because tomorrow, if they won't demand for it, other Kenyans will make similar posts and they will be eliminated. That's my first question. My second question, which I think everybody is asking, why was he arrested in Homa Bay and transported to Nairobi, 380 kilometers away? How many officers were part of the team which arrested him? Because according to the father, if you paid close attention, the father was very clear that these guys came in 3 motorbikes. And these 3 motorbikes had 2 people. So which means they came 6 of them. And out of the 6, some were based in the local police station there. Because that's normally how it's done. So the question is, out of the 6, how many were from the local police post there, which is okay? And how many traveled from Nairobi? Because the father mentioned something about Sigei. Mark that. Because it's coming to form my third question. So therefore, Kenyans need to know the identities of these officers who were sent to go and pick him. Because maybe these officers just did their job. Maybe for them, they were sent from Nairobi to come and pick this guy. They picked him. They were told, make sure he arrives at the central police station. And that's exactly what they did. Maybe for them, they were just doing their work. But Kenyans need to know, who are these officers? The third question, do we have a special squad carrying abductions in Kenya? Because Rigathi said something. Listening to Rigathi.
Remember last weekend I said that a special squad had been set aside. And now we have confirmation that President William Ruto, CS for Interior Kipchumba Murkomen, and the Deputy Inspector General, Mr. Eliud Lagat, all from the Kalenjin community, have put up a squad to deal with leaders who are opposed to this regime. The Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen has sent a message to us through Common Friends that his appointment to the Ministry of Interior is to make sure that William Ruto is re-elected as president and to deal with anybody who can stop that objective.
And if you read Rigathi Gachagua's statements today, it's like 2 police stations, Kamukunji and Central Police Stations, are manned by these individuals. And they are from the same community. If that is true, because I don't want to imagine, but if it's true, we are headed in days worse than Kanu days. My fourth question, maybe you are also wondering, why do you think the leaders are not talking about this matter? I've seen Kimani Ichung'wah speaking, and I'm not happy, because for Kimani Ichung'wah, it's just one Kenyan. Why are leaders from Nyanza not talking about this matter? The other day we saw Ong'ondo Were just being eliminated in the street. It went like that. Today someone is picked while eating with a family, never to return. And they're not talking about it. Why? someone like Opondo Kaluma should lecture Kenyans now on this particular matter, because he's been lecturing Kenyans about the broad-based government. My fifth question: was Albert really received at the Central Police Station? Maybe he was received. And was he in good health by the time he arrived at the Central Police Station? Was he in good health? Because just like I was trying to explain, maybe these guys who picked him from wherever, from Homa Bay, just did their job and delivered him safely. At what point? Because you can't convince me there is a wall here. No, this is a window. There's a wall here. There's another wall there. You can't tell me that, it's just easy for someone to hit tap, tap until he dies. So Kenyans need to know whether this guy was really tortured on the way or at the Central Police Station. That's a question. Because that will also help Kenyans understand a few things. Was he in good health? And my other question: what was the real mission of the arrest? Why was he arrested in the first place? You can't just claim that someone is picked from the village to Central Police Station, then eliminated. If he was arrested, because I know normally even if someone is charged in court, they normally write the charge sheet, why he's been arrested, why he's being taken to court. Actually, they normally post in verbatim the objectives, the reasons why he's been arrested, and they write it, the exact post. We need to know. And lastly, and this is very tough for Eliud, Baba, you need to tell your supporters the true position of Albert. Because if you want, Kenyans will conclude that this broad-based government is turning into blood-based government. And Kenyans will never forgive you, Baba, for this. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.